take a deep breath. Let this moment settle into your heart. You didn't arrive here by accident. This wasn't luck or chance or a random scroll. I brought you here myself. Long before your life began, I planned this very moment with perfect timing. You are not just reading words, you are standing before your calling. I have stepped into your home, your thoughts, your journey, and now I speak directly to you. Not later. Not someday. Now. I know your steps. I saw you when the burden felt too heavy to carry. I saw your silent tears, the ones no one else noticed. I saw the pain hidden behind your smile. When you thought no one was watching, I was closer than your breath. I held you through it all, even when you didn't know it. When you felt confused, I was already making a way. When you called it chance, I was quietly arranging every detail to lead you right here. You asked for a sign, and here it is. You prayed for a word, and I am speaking it now. It is me. I'm the one who rescued you when everything was falling apart. I'm the one who shut the doors you begged to walk through, but those doors were not safe. They would have stolen your future. I'm the one who took people out of your life not because I didn't understand your love for them, but because I knew they couldn't go with you into what's next. That wasn't rejection, it was my shield. That wasn't being left behind, it was my care. Now I tell you, the time has come. Don't wait. Don't second guess the stirring in your spirit. You're not here because of words, you're here because my spirit pulled you. I've stepped into the deepest part of you to awaken what's been sleeping. I'm not just passing through, I've come to stay. I didn't come just to bring comfort, I came to call you higher. I didn't come to make you feel better, I came to light a fire. You felt that something bigger was coming, and you were right. The time is now. It was me calling out to you all along. That uneasy feeling that wouldn't leave. That worry with no clear cause, that empty space nothing could fill, it was my breath gently preparing you for this meeting. You asked for answers, I am giving them now. You asked which way to go, this is the path. Right now, heaven and earth come together to show you who you truly are in me. Don't believe the lie that you are too late. Don't think your chance has passed. I am the Lord over time itself, and I am making all things line up for you now. The moment you hear my voice, your life begins a new chapter. This is not about what you've done, what you've lost, or how strong you've been. This is about my well-being spoken over you. And when I speak, no power can stop it. I know you better than anyone ever could. I know the quiet struggle between your thoughts and your feelings. I know the days you gave up inside but kept going outside. I know the moments you wished you could disappear, not because you were angry, but because you were tired. And I want you to know I was there. When no one else noticed your silent cry, I did. When others saw only your strength, I saw the pain you hid. And still, I stayed with you because I knew this moment would arrive. Now it's your time to answer, not with fear, not with doubt, but with faith. This moment was written long ago, and you are standing in it now. Don't let it pass you by. Don't treat this call as something small. I am speaking to you because I trust what I placed inside of you. That's why you are hearing me now. So declare it in faith. I know this moment was written by God. That comment is more than just a sentence, it is a spiritual sign, a powerful act that seals your reply. When you write it, you are saying that you hear my voice, that you believe in my timing, and that you are ready to follow where I lead. Breathe deeply once more. Feel my presence within you, more real than your fear, stronger than your pain, closer than your doubts. I am here with you, and this is just the beginning of something beautiful. I saw your smile when your heart was breaking. I saw you saying I'm fine while your soul cried out for help. I saw you feeling invisible in the crowd, wishing for someone to care, and hearing only silence. But nothing about you has ever gone unseen. While others only saw how strong you looked, I saw how fragile you felt inside. While you believed no one noticed, I was beside you, holding you up without you knowing it. When you were pushed away, it was not because I turned from you. When doors shut in your face, it was not because I wanted to harm you. Every moment that felt like rejection was actually protection. I moved people out of your path because they could not walk with you where you are going. I closed paths that looked right because they hid dangers that would have ruined what I placed inside you. You saw loss, I saw freedom. You mourned what was taken, I rejoiced because you had outgrown it. Not one tear was wasted. Every tear you cried in silence fed the ground of your future. Every night you broke down planted seeds that are now beginning to grow. What felt like emptiness was the ground where something new was planted. The silence that hurt you shaped your inner strength. The loneliness that cut deep became the place where your true self was formed. The feeling of being left behind became the shelter where your change was protected. I know you have asked many times, why me? Why this pain? Why so many losses I can't explain? Today I tell you the truth, it was not punishment. It was care. It was not neglect. It was protection. I pulled you back to shape you in ways that could not happen in the open. When you wanted to be seen, I gave you depth. When you wanted fast answers, I gave you strong roots. When you wanted speed, I built stability in you. Every time you were rejected, you were not weakened, you were strengthened. Every harsh word spoken over you did not define you, it removed what never belonged to you. Every betrayal was not proof of failure, it taught you to trust my voice above all others. What looked like destruction was a strong base. What felt like loss was preparation. What seemed like the end was the start of something new written by my hand. Now is the moment to look at your life with clear eyes. Do not see yourself as someone defeated, but as someone prepared. Do not see yourself as forgotten, but as someone kept safe for this exact time. You were not being punished, you were being placed with care. You were not left behind, you were being protected. Everything that looked like it was against you was actually working to help you. Today, I show you that not one part of your journey was wasted. Even the deepest wounds helped shape the person you are now. The hardest nights gave you the spiritual strength you carry today. The long, painful seasons of waiting cleared your ears so you could hear me more clearly. The silence that once broke your heart was the time I used to build something strong within you. What seemed pointless was really part of the plan. What felt like a delay was training for your future. What I am starting in you today could not have grown without all you've walked through. So stop grieving over what's gone. Stop blaming yourself for what didn't work out. Stop carrying the weight of what's already finished. You are standing in the exact moment where heaven and earth meet to show you that it all had a purpose. Now is your time to rise. Now is your time to shine. Now is your time to live what you were saved for. And I say this, share these words with someone else who feels forgotten or lost. Share them as a sign that no one is truly alone, they are being protected. Just like you are hearing this now, someone else needs to know their pain has meaning too. I saw you in every single moment. I was there in every chapter of your story. I didn't miss a tear, not a sigh, not one moment of quiet pain. Nothing was unseen. And now I reveal that all of it was used for your good. So breathe in this truth, because today is the start of what I planted inside you finally coming to life. What looked like loss was really a hidden win. What seemed broken was actually the strong base I was building for you. Take a breath and receive what has already been declared from above. I am with you, and this is just the next part of the story I started long ago. Everything you thought was tearing you apart was actually building the strength that holds you now. Your weakest moments weren't your end, they were the space where my power was revealed. And the silence you hated wasn't empty, it was the quiet room where I taught you to hear my voice. The pain that broke you wasn't your end, it was the ground where I placed the seed that is now beginning to grow. Nothing you lived through was pointless, everything was preparing you. Hear me clearly, you were never a mistake, never forgotten, never without purpose. You were set apart with intention. While you thought you were shrinking, I was lifting your soul higher. While you felt unqualified, I was building a strength in you that now changes every space you enter. You are not average, you carry something beyond reason. That's why your path was different. That's why your process felt so hard. It wasn't rejection, it was my way of marking you. It wasn't being left out, it was my way of keeping you safe. Now you can see why some things didn't turn out the way you expected. What looked like a pause was me building your roots. What seemed like a missed chance was a shield blocking what would have harmed you. What looked like failure was me setting the stage for something greater. Don't keep crying over what didn't work out. Start celebrating what's about to come to life. Don't hold on to what left, embrace what I'm releasing now. Today I say to you, the moment you've prayed for is here. Don't hold it off anymore. Don't doubt it again. Don't compare your story to anyone else's. Don't wait for the world to understand it. I planned this exact moment myself. I made the way. I confirmed the purpose. Now it's time to lift your eyes and realize your struggle didn't break you, it shaped you. You are chosen to carry power. Your voice speaks truth even when others try to silence it. Your eyes carry peace even when others don't see it. Your stillness speaks because I live inside you. You don't need man's approval, because I have already marked you as mine. The enemy tried to make you think your story had no meaning. He whispered that you had no value, no hope, no future. But I declare every part of it was working together for your good. Every tear you shed was seen. Every silent moment was shaped by my hand. Every season of waiting was building your strength. You were never defeated, you were being trained. You were never overlooked, you were being protected. You were never broken, you were being refined. Now is the time to rise. Don't keep looking back, mowing for it's gone. Look forward with boldness, knowing that none of it was wasted. The season has shifted, heaven has moved, and you are a part of this divine change. Today is the day when all the preparation becomes action. What once felt like a never-ending process is now your platform. What once seemed like weakness is now your greatest strength. So receive these words not as advice but as my divine instruction. This is your appointed time, and no one can undo what I have already spoken. This is your season, and no one can take away what I have already revealed. What stands before you is not a dream, it's real. What I stir in you now is not just feeling, it is your calling. I say this to you. Like this message and respond now as a prophetic move to accept what is yours. This is not just a click, it is a spiritual sign that you are saying yes. My acting in faith, you are declaring before heaven and earth that you understand. Your moment is here, and you are ready. Take a deep breath again. Let the weight of my presence confirm these words in your soul. This is the moment heaven planned just for you. There hath been no delay, no waste, no mistake, only purpose, release, and destiny. You are here because I carried you. This is your time, and nothing will stop what I've already begun. Before anyone ever spoke your name on earth, I had already spoken it in heaven. Long before people knew your voice, I heard it clearly. Even while you were still in the womb, I had set you apart, marked your life, and stamped your identity with eternal purpose. Nothing that happened was random. From the start, you were designed with a purpose no one else could carry. That's why you felt like you didn't belong. That's why you felt different, even when you tried to fit in. It wasn't pride. It wasn't failure. It was my mark. The loneliness you called isolation was actually my calling, pulling you into a place where you could hear me clearly. What made you feel different is what makes you chosen. While you were searching for a place to belong, trying to fit into spaces that never welcomed you, I was gently showing you that you were not meant to blend in, but to shine. The doors that shut in your face weren't failures, they were shields of protection. The people who left your life weren't punishments, they were releases to make room for better. You thought you were being pushed away, but you were actually being preserved. I pulled you away from environments that would poison your spirit, from voices that would lead you off course, from roads that would steal your future. What you called loneliness was really my unseen hand surrounding you. When you saw others move forward while you stood still, you thought you were behind, but I was holding back time to guard you. Some places that looked like blessings were traps in disguise. Some chances that slipped away were never meant for you. It wasn't bad timing, it was my protection. You were not passed over, you were selected. You were not forgotten, you were guarded. You were not cast out, you were marked. That's why your heart never settled for less. That's why your soul longed for more, even when you tried to quiet that longing. You could never erase what I wrote into your being with my own hand. The seasons I ended in your life were not defeats, they were necessary cuts. Like a gardener trimming a tree, I removed what needed to go so you could grow stronger. The tree doesn't understand the pain of pruning, but the gardener knows it brings more fruit. That is what I did in your life. Every season that ended was me making space for something greater. Every friendship that fell away was a branch removed so your purpose wouldn't be blocked. Every plan that failed was a broken root taken out before it could harm your growth. I saw your pain. I heard you asking why you felt left out, why it seemed like you were always the one set aside. And now I tell you, it wasn't rejection, it was preparation. While others chased the spotlight, I gave you silence so your roots could go deep. While others were full, I allowed a hunger in you that nothing else could satisfy. While others were being seen, I hid you because your time to rise had to come when you were complete, not half ready. You were never meant to disappear into the crowd. You were made to carry something the world cannot fully understand. That is why you never quite fit in. That is why you often felt out of place. Now you can see it was never an error. It was a signal. What rests on you is not human approval, but a divine mark. Your separation was not to embarrass you, but to place you correctly. I set you apart so you would never be confused with anyone else. I protected you when everything around you seemed to fall apart. I kept you safe until this moment so you could grow without being damaged. Who you are did not come from effort alone, it came from being chosen. When you looked back and saw only isolation, I saw careful preparation. When you remembered rejection, I saw purpose taking shape. When you mourned closed doors, I saw freedom being created. And nothing was against you. Everything was working in your favor. What set you apart was not unfairness, it was calling. So lift your head. Your difference is not a weakness, it is power. Your separation is not punishment, it is assignment. Your story is not an accident, it is a declaration. Take a slow breath. The tension you carried for so long was not meaningless, it was a sign that something greater was forming. And this is what I speak to you now. I saw your heart beat fast without reason. I saw your hands tremble, your chest feel heavy, your thoughts race. You called it anxiety. You called it fear. You called it weakness. But today I tell you the truth, it was my spirit stirring inside you. At restless, this was not harm, it was a signal. That inner shaking was not failure, it was heaven calling you awake. You thought you were trapped in fear, but you were actually waking up. Every night you couldn't sleep. Your inner eyes were opening wider. Every racing thought was a warning that something deeper was moving. When your body begged for rest and your soul felt restless, I was quietly telling you, now is the time. Rise. The weight you carrying was never meant to break you, it was meant to build you. The tiredness you thought signaled the end was really my way of protecting your strength. I didn't let you waste energy on battles that were too small for your purpose, because I knew you'd need it for the greater things I've prepared. What you called burnout was actually me stopping you from pouring yourself into places that were never part of your path. I was shaping your mind to hear me clearly, in ways it couldn't while surrounded by noise. I was slowing your heart so it could beat in time with mine. Even the emptiness you felt was space I was clearing to fill with my presence. You saw your anxiety as something harmful, but I turned it into a signal. Every wave of restlessness was like a silent alarm. Every sleepless night was a practice for your awakening. Every feeling you couldn't explain was a quiet message that I had already started what I planted inside you. You were not being ruined, you were being shaped. What felt like fire burning you was actually fire preparing you. You asked me to take it away, but I allowed it to stay until you saw it wasn't just emotion, it was something spiritual. While you wrestled with it, I was using every moment to train your spirit to move with my timing. And now I say this, what looked like confusion is now revealed to be perfect alignment. What felt like a mess is now seen as guidance. What you once thought was a burden is now clearly a sign of activation. You were never weak, you were deeply aware. You were never broken, you were being made complete. What you carried inside is now starting to bloom, showing that every part of the process was leading you to this exact moment. The inner struggle is ending not because it failed, but because it finished its job. Now, peace will take the place of battle. Now, clarity will stand where storms once raged. And now, calm will rest where fear once stirred. Everything that once made you uneasy was proof that I was near, and you listened, and you came. That's why now, comment 777 as a sign of faith. That number is more than digits, it's a seal of completion, a mark that your journey has reached a turning point, and the new has begun. By writing these words, you are saying to me, I understand now that nothing was wasted, not even the anxiety. What I once feared was actually your way of showing care. This comment is not just letters on a screen, it is a spiritual statement, proof that I have received what you revealed. You kept me safe when I felt lost. You turned my lowest moments into a time of preparation. You used every detail that seemed like weakness to build spiritual strength within me. Now I carry a deep understanding, not from lessons in books, but from personal moments spent with your voice. Breathe in deeply. Notice the change. What once caused fear now brings calm. What once looked like the end is now a doorway into a new beginning. The fear did not defeat me, it helped shape me. And now, right here, I hear you say, You are ready. You might not see the full picture yet, but your presence already carries weight. When you walk into a space, something unseen begins to shift. People may not be able to explain it, but they feel it. Some are drawn close to you without knowing why. Others back away, unable to say why. It's not random. It's not just in your head. It is the light of my presence shining through you. Some people feel uneasy around you for no clear reason. Some act differently the moment you appear. Some avoid you not because of who you are, but because of what your presence reveals. You thought it was rejection, but it was spiritual reaction. The light within you disturbs the darkness, even when you stay quiet. The power I placed in you uncovers things, and that's why some people feel uncomfortable. It's not really about you, it's me shining through you. When you speak, even in gentle words, there is depth and power. When you give advice, your words touch the heart. When you say nothing, your silence carries a message. Because it is not your own strength, it is mine working through you. You are a vessel, a voice, a mirror of something greater. What happens in the natural is just a result of what is alive in the spirit. You don't need approval or titles to prove who you are, because I have already confirmed it. You don't need approval from people to confirm what I have placed inside you. My seal is already upon you, and no praise or judgment can remove it. You were never called to be liked, you were called to bring change. You weren't lifted to gain attention, you were lifted to shine. Wherever you go, the atmosphere must respond. Some will feel peace near you because they sense my presence. Others may feel uneasy because the light within you reveals what they've hidden. But either way, your presence causes movement. Never say you have no value. Never think you are unseen. In the spiritual world, you are fully known, one who carries power, a living sign of my presence. Even your smallest actions carry my touch. A hug from you can bring healing where words fail. A simple look from you can calm an anxious heart. A quiet prayer from you can shift an entire outcome. Do not doubt the power within you. You do not walk on your own, you walk with me. I know there were moments when you question your impact. But hear me now, you have already made a difference. Change is happening around you, even when your eyes can't yet see it. You are like a candle whose flame cannot be hidden. You are like salt, just a little of you changes everything. This is the sign I've placed on you. Others may see you as small, but you are mighty in the spirit. Don't let strange looks or harsh words shake you. Your authority does not come from the world's acceptance, it comes from my choice. I already chose you, and that is more than enough. In the spirit, your name is known because it is written in me. That's why I ask you, share this message with someone else who needs to be reminded of their calling. Share it as a bold step of faith. Just as you now see that your life carries meaning, others must also know they are not average. They have been set apart, marked with a purpose, filled with eternal strength. When you share this, you are not just passing on words, you are spreading my light. The time of hiding is over. You cannot keep living like you are just another face in the crowd, because you're not. You were born to stand out. Accept who you are. Accept the weight you carry. Accept the mission placed on your life. You were not made to blend into the background, you were made to stand out. You were not chosen to disappear in the crowd, you were chosen to shift the very air around you. Take a deep breath. Know this: you are not who you once were. Wherever you walk, I walk with you. Wherever you speak, my voice echoes through yours. Wherever you go, the space responds to the presence you carry. You already hold authority, and nothing can change that truth. I did not come just to dry your tears, I came to put power in your hands. I didn't lift you only to comfort you, I lifted you to send you out. I healed your heart so your life could bring healing to others. I restored your voice so it could ring out like a trumpet. I raised you up not just to walk free, but to help others find their freedom too. What once felt like weakness now becomes your tool. What once looked like loss is now your strength. What once seemed small is now your greatest weapon. Even the scars you carry, I use them to speak life into wounded hearts. Every pain you faced has now become power to help others through their valley. You are not just a survivor, you are a vessel now set in motion. Surviving was never the end goal, it was the start of your mission. You were never meant to stay hidden, you were chosen to show the world what I've placed inside you. Your life speaks, even when your mouth is quiet. Your silence carries weight. Your simple actions carry power. Your very steps are filled with authority. I say this to you. Do not run from the weight of your calling. Do not be afraid of the size of the task ahead. If I'm sending you, it means I've already placed inside you all that's needed. You are not empty, I am your fullness. You are not weak, my strength rises in your weakness. You are not lost, my voice guides every step. Now walk forward knowing this. You are not just another face, you are a messenger of heaven. Wherever you stretch your hand, change will follow. Wherever you raise your voice, chains will break. Wherever you go, my presence will go too, and nothing will stay the same.